Good morning. My name is Lucille Barone and I'm a practitioner here at Calgary Center for Spiritual Living. Thank you for joining me both here at the center and our love stream folks for this morning's meditation. So to prepare our bodies and our mind for meditation, I'm going to lead you in a few rounds of box breathing, and its purpose is to calm the mind. It's a great technique. Many of you are familiar with it already, but a good reminder as we head into this busy season. So when you're in the airport security lineup or line up at the cash register or all the other busy challenges in the month ahead, you can just silently and invisibly do this. So just settle into your chair, back straight, feet flat on the ground. So just take a deep breath in and breathe out slowly. And we'll start the box breathing. So breathe in through your nose as you slowly count to 4. And be conscious of how the air fills your lungs and your body. Hold your breath for a count of 4. Then release it to the count of 4. And pause for the count of 4. I'll lead you in a few rounds of that. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. So just repeat that 4 count at your own pace to suit yourself. And one last round. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Just check in with your body. You might need to rearrange your position to be more comfortable. Take an extra minute to make sure that you're as comfortable as possible. Right here and now, I drop down to that deepest most place, that innermost place of inner calm, inner peace. That divine presence that is the source of all manifestation. As we head into what many call the holiday season, we see it wherever we look. What are you expecting? Obligation, duty, stress, pressure? Not enough time or money or Christmas presents? Or are you expecting an expansion of the joy that arises from increased celebrations, connection with others, givingness, receivingness, expressions of love? We are always at free will choice. What is our response to this season? What are we expecting? So right here and now, I open wide the gates of my awareness of the divine presence, the divine energy within. This energy is the underlying principle of life. This love energy has always been, always will be, always available in infinite quantities, as near as my next breath. The warmth of this love circulates through me, permeating my mind, my heart. It collapses all apparent contradictions to it. So now we move into our time of silence, and I invite you that if any unwelcome thoughts rise up in your consciousness, to just notice them and allow them to float downstream. You may need to focus on the music for a few minutes or a few rounds of box breathing to get centered again. And that's available to you. Today, I joyously expect a greater good. I prepare my mind for that which I want to experience. I guard the portals of my mind for any shadows of doubt, fear, thoughts of lack or limitation, and I open wide the gates of my receiving of this greater good. I nurture my faith in this greater good, keeping my consciousness open to an increasing awareness of my union with it. I broaden my vision to include greater good not just for myself, but for all others. Today I meet everyone with the knowingness that he or she or they are part of the divine oneness that unites us all. So slowly bring your awareness back into the room. Just pay attention to your body. Reconnect with it. Wiggle your toes and fingers. Shake out your hands. Circle your head and breathe a few deep breaths. And when you're ready, open your eyes. So we'd like to acknowledge Ernest Holmes' book, 365 Science of Mind, where I got many of the phrases that you heard through this meditation. I thank each of you for joining me in meditation today and preparing our physical center for this service of celebration and deeper understanding, and also your body temple if you're gathered at home. Namaste.
And never mind.
Michelle, can you mute the handheld? I got nothing now. Oh, hold on.
I was way closer to Calgary than but I love
He's not dressed for this weather shelter, brings you sleep. I don't know why. Well, I went to some neighbor, a couple neighbors, because they all know me from their store each 353. So they had a Christmas party, so they invited people. Yeah, basically that's what it was. And
Good morning. We're going to start with our opening song. We just need some sound coming out of our instruments. There we go. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock.
you. Wonderful to see kind of a full house here today. And my love stream people, we love you so much. Welcome to the Calgary Center for Spiritual Living. If you are new to the center, I'll introduce myself. I'm Pat Campbell, and I am the spiritual director of the center. And you may, if you're new here and you just heard our wonderful band Elevation sing Jingle Bell Rock, well, you know what? We are just that kind of spiritual center. That's all I'm going to say about it. We believe in fun. We believe we are very serious about spirituality, but we are not somber, because we absolutely believe that one of the ways that the divine expresses itself is through joy and laughter and celebration. So that's what we're going to do today. We've got a super exciting day, because not only do we have our regular service, we've got a party going on afterwards. We're going to watch a movie together. Just wonderful. But I do want to call your attention to this slide, especially to people who are new to us. As you can see, going around the slide are many of the world's faith traditions, with the words that say we honor all paths, and we honor you and the path you're on. We mean that very sincerely, because we understand that each one of us is that divine spark, unique unto ourselves. And so there can't be just one way to believe, one way to be. So wherever you are on your spiritual path, you are absolutely welcome here. We're so happy that you are here. So what I would like to ask is, if there is anybody who is here for the first time, we don't want to embarrass you, we just want to make eye contact with you, hand you a brochure. Okay, so we've got, brochure to you. Oh, and please know you are so welcome here. This is fantastic. Thanks. Oh, gosh, that's awesome. And for our new people, you may not know, but we have another 50 or so people who are watching on our love stream. So everybody turn around and wave at the love stream. Let them know we know you're there. We love you. And we're going to start off by singing what we call our Kong song, which is Silver Bells. Let's stand up and sing.
All right.
City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air there's a feeling of Christmas. Children laughing, people passing, meeting smile after smile. And on every street corner you'll hear silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Streets of street lights, even stoplights, flicker bright red and green, as the shoppers rush home with their treasures. Hear the snow crunch, see the kids march. This is Santa's big scene, and above all this bustle, you'll hear silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Silver bells, silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Soon it will be Christmas Day.
Oh, that was so fun! I haven't started listening to Christmas music yet, so that was fun. That got me in the mood for sure. So we have a whole bunch of things going on here, but before we send the kids out, I'm going to invite Marquita up to tell you about our Secret Santa project, because the kids were part of that. So please welcome Marquita back.
part for the
The
Secret Santa for seniors. I sorted and counted all the toiletries and chocolates and goodies, and I was at about 200 items.
Wow.
I know, but I forgot about the kids and all the bags they decorated. And so I had to count those, and I think that brought us up to about 250.
Wow.
So thank you to Rachel and the Funday Skill and to everybody who brought in items. Cash donations and e-transfers from our Love Stream community was enough to purchase 14 $25 gift certificates for groceries. So thank you to everyone who contributed there. And finally, we had a small but mighty group at the warehouse yesterday where we were sorting the boxes and making sure they were in the right place for the right people.
Checking them twice.
Checking them twice. We did, and we got a little workout to boot. So thank you. Thank you everyone for your contribution, for helping to bring joy to our seniors.
Thank you, Marquita. Thank you. That's awesome. You know, right on the heels of our winter coat project where we brought in 35 winter coats for people. You guys are just amazing. I'm going to be talking later on about the law of giving and receiving. So just remember that I'm saying this now for then when I talk about it in just a little bit. Okay, and then kids, you guys get to go to Funday. So go with Miss Rachel. Yay! So Amy, I heard you were well behaved last week.
Of course.
Okay, all right. And now I'm going to invite Reverend Leslie to tell you what's going on today. I know it seems like a lot of announcements, but we are an active community. Woo, gracious sakes.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for signing up for our movie and a chili, or chili first, then the movie, and then we're all in the same room. So what's going to happen is afterwards, coffee's going to be out in the lobby for right after the service, so help yourself to coffee, and then we're just going to set up the tables in here, and we hope to have that all done by noon, so you can come in at noon. We'll feed you guys all, and then we'll clean up a little bit, and then we'll launch the movie. So we're trying to get that started around quarter to 1, between quarter to 1 and 1 o'clock, depends how fast you eat. But based on my catering experience from years ago, it's fast. You cook all day and then it's done in 10 minutes. So anyways, I'm so excited that you're all here and you're participating, and I think we're going to have a great afternoon. And following the movie, there will be about a 30-minute discussion. We'll just talk about what we learned in the movie. And so Neil Williams, we've got 2 Neils here. Neil Williams is our MC, so he'll help you figure that out. So I think we're going to have a great afternoon, so thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Leslie. Great job for your team. With Sandra and Leslie, come acknowledge your team if you would, please. I'm sorry, I can't remember everyone.
Neil Williams and Sandra and Neil Butler and Shelley has been part of it, and myself, and then another person. Who else
I know
was that?
Lee contributed.
Yeah, Lee made a ton of cookies for us, so homemade cookies this afternoon as well. And yeah, just some great helpers along the way. So Vern Chase brought a chili as well, so we've had lots of chili makers. So his is, and Neil brought his special recipe as well. And so we've just got lots of people helping, and that's what we wanted, community connection. So that was the foundation of our event, was having community and getting connected together. So thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, I get to be the heavy here for just a minute. Leslie got to tell you everything that's wonderful. What I'm going to tell you is, when we decided on $5 a lunch, we were not taking into consideration the increase in groceries. So we ran a little short. Not on food, on money to pay for the food. So if you are feeling so inclined and you'd like to contribute a little extra, there's going to be a can there that you can just put a little extra money in there to help defray the cost of all of the food. Okay, so hold on to your hats because I'm going to blast through these, okay? You ready for this? Okay, Amy Bishop's Concert Songs and Stories Christmas Edition, December 9th. There's this next Friday, and you can buy the tickets at Eventbrite. Just go to Eventbrite and Google Amy Bishop Christmas or something like that, and it'll come up with that. You can get the tickets there. Our Christmas Eve candle lighting service. We are not having a service on Christmas Day. We are having the service at 10 o'clock, which is different than our normal start time. 10 o'clock on Saturday, Christmas Eve, December 24th. And Reverend Val and Amy and many of the other ministers and practitioners are putting together a lovely service for you. So please plan to come and be part of that with your spiritual community. Our annual World Peace Meditation takes place every year since 1986 on December 31st. And it is at 5 o'clock in the morning. Say what? 5 o'clock in the morning? 5 o'clock in the morning. The reason for that is it's been going on noon Greenwich Mean Time since 1986. People coming together to pray and meditate for peace. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Pray for peace. Noon Greenwich Mean Time makes it 5 o'clock in the morning Mountain Time. So we come together. It's a lovely thing. It's going to be both on live stream and in person. And then those who want to will go to breakfast afterwards. So I will be talking more about that in the days to come. A new course coming up, Meditation is More Than You Think, starting Tuesday, January 10th through February 28th. And I'm sorry, our Love Stream people, this is going to be an in-person class only. I just could not figure out a way to do both this time. So hopefully you can be here and be part of that. We'll give you more details soon for that. And then our ongoing groups are the Consciousness Seekers on Zoom at 7 o'clock on Mondays, Coffee with Dr. Pat, Saging Circles, which is for our Wisdom Keepers, our elders, and that is Saturdays at 10, and our Hiking Social Group. You'll hear about things as they happen, but we're not hiking these days, okay? So, that was a lot, huh? I know, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So right now, excuse me, we put the business to the side. And now we are going to go into our more sacred part. I'm going to invite Lucille Marone up, who is our practitioner of the day. In fact, I'm going to invite all of our practitioners to come to the front if you are in the room. And it's always wonderful to have that level of support here. These people are here to serve you. If they're wearing a scarf, a gray scarf, then they are available to do spiritual mind treatment with you after service. That's our form of affirmative prayer. If you've got something going on, you'd like to have some prayer support, they are here for you. So Lucille is going to lead us in our spiritual mind treatment after Amy and Steph do a chant to get us into the space.
So sacred, so secret, so precious,
this love that is the energizing energy of the universe. Some call it God, some call it spirit. Whatever you call it, we are all part of it, and it is part of us. And here and now I set aside the busyness of my mind and drop down into the sacred center of my being. It is the source of all creation, all manifestation, all experiences in my life. Here and now I turn aside from all thoughts of fear, limitation, lack, doubt, worry, and drop down into this feeling of sacredness, of infinite joy, infinite love, eternal vitality, everlasting peace. Today I expect greater and greater good. I expect to experience greater good tomorrow and the next day and the day after that, because my good is like my God, infinite and eternal. There is enough for everyone. I give thanks for this knowingness. I give thanks for this center where I may gather with others and expand my consciousness, expand my knowledge, expand my experience of this infinite love. And together we affirm, and so it is.
So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love.
And in the spirit of unity and oneness, let's say together our vision statement. The Calvary Center for Spiritual Living is a beacon of spiritual illumination that inspires individuals to reveal their wholeness, co-creating a world that works for everyone. And how we do that is by our mission statement. The Calvary Center for Spiritual Living makes accessible a way of living and thinking that reveals one's spiritual magnificence and personal power. We co-create an inclusive community that fosters an expansion of consciousness.
Thank you, Lucille. Thank you, Amy and Steph. It's wonderful, and thank you, my beloveds, as always. So do we have amazing music in this center? Well, just imagine that the elevation sign was up there because somehow I made a mistake and didn't put it in. So anyway, we are so blessed, and I'm not just saying that because I'm standing up on stage with them. I'm saying that because music is really important to this community. And so we really do tap some of the best working musicians in our city. So I'm going to introduce them before they play today. This girl, and then there's this girl, and then this dude, and then this girl. Amy Bishop, Steph Chapman, Luis Tovar, and Lisa Jacobs. And Oliver's not even here. Okay, please welcome Elevation.
What's really funny is you guys gave us a standing ovation, and I said to Lisa, let's do a really crappy job now. And then we did.
And so it
No presents, no candy, no tree, no stockings hung by the fire. No parties, no family to greet, no angels, heavenly choir. Bells are ringing all over the world. Bells are ringing, calling the light. Bells are ringing all over the world, all over the world tonight.
because now I hope you all have a state of expectancy. I'm brave that I get up on the stage after a song like that almost every week. But it's why I ask you all to breathe with me so that I can kind of bring myself back. So I'm going to invite you now to breathe with me. Just taking a deep breath. And again. And one more time, please. There's something so grounding for me, and I'm going to assume grounding for you as we breathe together, as we all get on the same page, the same wavelength. So one of the earliest influences on our founder, whose name is Dr. Ernest Holmes, was a woman by the name of Emma Curtis Hopkins. How many of you have heard of Emma Curtis Hopkins? Yeah, a few of us. Emma, as she is affectionately referred to these days, is known as the teacher of teachers. All of you who want to be practitioners, that'll be on your exam guarantee. Who is the teacher of teachers? Emma Curtis Hopkins. Okay. She was doing her thing like in the late 1800s type of thing, and her New Thought metaphysical students included Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, who are founded our Kissing Cousins faith tradition called Unity, Nona Brooks and Melinda Kramer, who founded Divine Science, and of course, our beloved Dr. Ernest Holmes. And Emma believed beyond a shadow of a doubt that we are all part of the one source. We are all part of that universal energy, and that energy is here for us to use and utilize for health, for prosperity, for joy, for good. In fact, one of her most famous statements is, "There is good for me, and I ought to have it." Woo-hoo! There is good for me, and I ought to have it. Now, when she's talking about good, ladies and gentlemen, she's not talking about just material good, although it includes material good. She is talking about stepping into and standing in the flow of good, in the flow of life, in the flow of love, in the flow of God, which for her is synonymous with good. Good equals God, God equals good in her vernacular. So I'm going to invite you guys to say this phrase with me. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready? Am I cutting in and out?
Yeah.
No? Okay, good. It's only in my own ear. Okay, are you ready? There is good for me, and I ought to have it. I totally did not believe you. You said it like you were in church, for God's sake. Okay, do you see the words? Let's hear it again. There is good for me, and I ought to have it. Oh, we're going to go even further. Stand up. And when you say, I ought to have it, stamp your foot like a little girl. Sorry, guys, but come on, do it anyway, okay? Are you ready for this? Here we go. There is good for me, and I ought to have it. Yes! Woo-hoo! Oh, oops, what did I do? Which brings us back to the talk title, which is called The State of Expectancy. As you repeated that phrase from Emma, did you feel a little bit of excitement running through? Was there a sense of possibility? Was there a touch of anticipation? Yeah, because that's a good thing. Because that state of expectancy of realizing that we're surrounded by possibility, of anticipation, actually acts as a turbo boost to the spiritual work that we are doing, our thoughts, our affirmations, our treatments. In fact, our founder, Ernest Holmes, said this: expectancy speeds progress. Therefore, live in a continual state of expectancy. No matter how much good you are experiencing today, expect greater good tomorrow. Now again, we're not talking about just material good. We are talking about living a life that feels more fully expressed, more fully expanded. Because one of the reasons that we are here, as spiritual beings, having this very human experience, is for us to live more fully expressed and more fully expanded lives in whatever way that means for you. Because what is going to be a fully expressed life for me may not be the same thing for you. So I'm going to share a story right now that illustrates what a fully expressed and expanded life looks like to me, and also is an example of Emma Curtis Hopkins. There is good for me and I ought to have it. So the reason I was gone last week was I was in Kelowna attending the retirement celebration of my dear, good longtime friends, Drs. Ken and Deborah Gordon, who are retiring after 30 years in ministry. And I had the honor, the privilege of giving the toast to Dr. Deb, who's been a very close friend and a colleague and a confidant of mine for a long, long time. So this event was taking place at a resort there in Kelowna, right on the lake. Now, normally this would not be a place that I would choose to stay. It was pretty swanky, and I tend to go for more practical places when I travel. I just do. But this hotel was running a special rate just for guests who were coming in for the celebration. So I booked, knowing me, the least expensive option, which was basically a queen room facing the parking lot. And those were actually choices. You know, water view, parking lot view, you know, whatever. Okay, that's the one I chose. So the morning I was leaving Calgary for Kelowna, I got a text from the hotel. It was an automated text, but I don't think I knew that because they actually said my name is such and such. But they were welcoming me, and they were saying that if there was anything I needed, to let them know. So on a total whim, I texted back to see if it was possible to get an upgrade to a room with a view. And the response came back that yes, I could upgrade to a water view room for an additional $50. Not bad, but I didn't know whether they meant $50 a night or $50 for my whole stay, which was 3 nights. So I texted back with that question, and the response was $50 a night. I don't know if I should go for it, that's a bit much for me, so I told them that, right? But then, on a whim, where this came from, I don't know, I asked if they would consider making it an extra $50 for the entire stay. Now, I want to say something here, that I was having fun at this point. I mean, this is all taking place in a text, right? While I'm at the airport. And after we arrived in Kelowna, I had no attachment to anything, which is part of the lesson, which I'll get to here in a moment. Now, I should mention that Reverend Monica and Sharon Faulkner were also on this trip. We were traveling together, and we were already having a blast. I mean, if you've ever traveled with these girls, we're having fun, right? So whether anything came out of this was really beside the point, because I was already experiencing my good. I'm traveling with friends, and we're going to Kelowna, and we're going to a celebration. Well, while we were at lunch, and they didn't know this was all happening because I hadn't talked about it, I got another text from the hotel saying that I could have a water view room for an additional $50 for my entire stay.
Woo, all right.
Or I could have a suite with a water view room for an additional $100 for the entire stay. But wait, there's more. I didn't respond to that because we were at lunch and we were going to go to the hotel. We're going to go to hell. We were going to go to the hotel right after lunch, but I was pretty excited. I mean, how cool would that be if it all worked out, right? So when I go in to check in, I tell the front desk person about these texts going back and forth, and was it really true that I could get a water view suite for only $100 additional? And she, you know how the front desk clerks are, right? And she clackety clacks. She stares at the screen. Clackety clack. And then she said, I can give you a water view suite for your entire stay for only $50 additional. I kid you not. Here's my view. Wait, there's the other view. Oh wait, there's the other view. Say it with me again. There is good for me and I ought to have it. Not because I'm so, oh no, don't look at that yet. Not because I'm so special. Not because I'm so spiritual. But because I know that I am surrounded by the energy and abundance in every form possible. And folks, this is the key point. I asked.
That's right.
One of the basics of our teaching is that the universe can only give to us what we are able to accept. It cannot give us more. Ernest Holmes put it this way. That's another view, by the way. Life fills all space and spirit animates every form. But since you are an individual, even the spirit cannot make the gift of life unless you accept it. Life may have given everything to you, but only that which you accept is yours to use. OMG! Now I told you that I had no attachment to the outcome of this little game, and I really didn't. In other words, I would have been absolutely fine staying. It was a lovely hotel, and I would have been happy to stay there regardless of my view. I could go down to the restaurant and see the view. But what I did have was a state of expectancy. In the 12 steps, we're told not to have expectations because they often lead to disappointment. However, in my mind, expectancy means something different. Expectancy has a sense of hope, an anticipation. It has belief behind it, right? And all of that I had, but again, I was not attached to the outcome. Either way, I knew I was going to have a wonderful celebration with friends and colleagues. Now, this would have been an interesting story all on its own, but there's actually more to it. I mentioned that I traveled with Reverend Monica and Sharon, who were also staying at the same hotel. And they overheard my conversation with the front desk and thought, why the heck not? So they asked for the same deal I received and got it. So at the start of the trip, all three of us were thinking that we were going to be staying in a nice hotel with a view of a parking lot, no big deal, and instead, because we understood that we are surrounded by good and we asked, we ended up staying in a lovely suite, not the same suite, lovely suites with incredible views of the Okanagan Lake. W.G. Yeats wrote, "The world is full of magic things, patiently waiting for our senses to grow sharper." Okay, we'll pause a second because I love it. The phones come out. The phones come out. Let's take a picture of them. So this amazing manifestation that I just shared with you was an illustration that as we grow spiritually, our senses are becoming sharper. Now everybody done? Okay. There's another aspect of the story that is important for us to cover, and that is that my acceptance of my good and Sharon and Monica's acceptance of their good did not dissipate the amount of good that was available. You understand what I'm saying here? In other words, there isn't a shortage of possibility in the universe. It is forever expanding, creating, giving, expressing, and it responds to our thought and our acceptance of it. So even though we, all three of us, accepted our good, it didn't take away from anyone else. So often, we hold our good at bay because we think if we have it, somehow we're taking it away from someone else. And that is just simply not true. It doesn't deplete a storehouse of good for us to have what we would like to have. There is more than enough to go around. Now, one more thing I need to mention about how all of this works. Not only do we need to have a state of expectancy and acceptance, we also need to participate in the flow of life. And part of being in the flow of life means that we understand that there is a universal law. We talk about the law a lot in our teaching. There's a universal law called the law of cause and effect. And one of its facets, if you will, no, that's not the meditation class. One of its facets, if you will, is the law of giving and receiving, which simply means as we give, we receive. It is a reciprocal action, and it is a law. It is the action of the universe. So the more we give to life, the more it responds in kind. It is limitless, it is always available, but there is an ebb and flow in life, and we have to participate in it. So if you know Monica, if you know Sharon, like so many of people in this incredible community, you know that they are exceedingly generous with their time, with their talent, with their treasures. So it shouldn't surprise us that the flow of life responded to them in equal measure. It is the natural unfolding of the cosmic law of giving and receiving, which is part of the law of cause and effect. Living with expectancy, with no attachment to the outcome. So I'm going to close with a writing from Ernest Holmes. Now, interestingly, I love all of our practitioners, but Lucille Larone and I seem to have a meeting of the minds every time she is practitioner here. It never fails. That I give her the talk title, and she finds the exact same quotes that I'm using. Invariably. So she closed her meditation with a beautiful writing from Ernest Holmes from the 365 daily guides. And as soon as I heard it during the meditation, I thought, that's how I'm closing my talk. So you're going to get it double. Hey, Steph, are you back there? Could you come noodle? Could you come noodle? So I'm going to use this writing or this reading from Ernest Holmes because it just really sums everything up really beautifully. And I'd like to use it kind of as a closing, like a closing treatment or a bit of a meditation. So if that feels comfortable for you, go ahead and close your eyes and just listen, or if you'd like to read along, you're more than welcome to also. We lift up our cup of acceptance to the divine bounty when we think affirmatively and give thanks to the giver of all life. Daily, we should practice affirming that our cup is filled and running over. Always remembering that what we affirm for ourselves, we affirm for others. Living and letting live, giving and receiving, loving and being loved. Our cup of acceptance will be filled from the horn of life's abundance. So just think of that. That you are, in your mind's eye, lifting up your cup of acceptance to the divine bounty. And recognizing and knowing that even though your cup be filled to overflowing, so too is everyone else's. There is no shortage. There's only plenty. There's only enough and more than enough. And so we hold our cup of acceptance, knowing, trusting that it is being filled from the horn of life's abundance. And now let's say that affirmation again, but this time in the recesses of your heart. There is good for me, and I ought to have it. Say it one more time. There is good for me, and I ought to have it. This is the truth, and so it is. This next song because I just figured it was going to fit right in with our topic. So please welcome again Amy Bishop and Elevation.
Children sleeping, snow is softly falling. Dreams are calling like bells in the distance. We were dreamers not so long
fun. Yeah, wow. Just want to look around the room for a second. You guys are glowing. Pretty amazing. So I'm going to remind you again what's going to happen. We're going to conclude the service, bring the kids and we'll conclude the service. And then we're all going to, after the second song, or after the last song, which you're going to dance to, I guarantee it, then, but we're going to go out there so they can set up for the event that we want to have start at noon. Okay, so that's what's happening there. Ways that you can support the center. This is a lot for our Love Stream people. E-transfers. You know, folks, we love e-transfers. By all means, e-transfers, even if you're here, that's wonderful. Website check, call the office, conscious commitment, all kinds of ways. And one thing I wanted to tell you, did you know we are a not-for-profit organization? You know that we are 100% supported by donations. And did you know that your donations are tax deductible? Not everybody knows that. So when you give to us, you want to make sure you put your information so we can give you a tax receipt for your taxes. Sometimes you forget, you just put money in, and we don't know who that's from. Thank you. And you're not going to get the tax receipt from that. And also, there's still time to top off for 2022. Some people like to do that. So I just wanted to remind you and to thank everybody for your donations throughout the year. We have had a pretty good year considering we're just coming out of COVID. So thank you, everybody. So take your tithes, your gifts, your offerings, your donations, hold it to your heart. Put a state of expectancy in there. A sense of anticipation. And let's say our conscious giving affirmation together. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I give returns to me, multiplied abundantly. I am so blessed, and so it is. And that's talking about the law of giving and receiving. As I give, all that I give returns to me, multiplied abundantly. There you go. There's my story. All right. So let's sing. I thank love. Here we go. I thank love for everything. 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 Yeah. I thank love for everything. 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 And so we're just going to do a blessing of all of that and knowing that everyone who has given, everyone who is participating, time, talent, treasure, is being blessed and multi-blessed. I give thanks for this truth, and so it is. Thank you, darlings. Thank you. And let's, I think they're ready. Let's bring in the kids.
are collages, and this is a practice round for vision boarding. So it's really interesting to explain to them that the pictures that they pick are for a reason. But no, they just pick whatever they want. Do you remember what this is called?
I think it's called the hairy monkey spider. The hairy monkey spidery thingy caterpillar.
And so that made it on the board. So yeah, we had a lot of fun. Over the next couple weeks, we're going to be vision boarding. So a little bit different from this because we're going to be intentionally picking our pictures. This was just for fun. Do you have anything you want to say? Sorry, everybody, 1 second.
Okay?
And I think that's it.
All right, okay, give our hand to our kids and let's go. Okay, we're going to do our closing blessing. So if you feel like standing up, do so. If not, because you're going to want to dance afterwards, we're going to just rub our hands together like this. You know, all that energy we talked about today, we're going to be generating that energy right here, right now, and then we're going to send it out into the world, wherever it leads. So are you ready? On a count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Have fun! See you in a minute.
Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad.